Hello and welcome back to Apple Tree Allotment. Down here nice and early this morning, got down here at 8 and nice bit of early morning gardening. The sun's still coming up, so it's still nice and sort of nice glow in the morning. I've been down for a couple of weeks, so I thought I'd come down, do a few little jobs, see how everything's going. There's a few things to show you down here today. I brought down some secateurs, so I was going to do a little bit of trimming back on the raspberries, so I'll show you those. And there's still lots of the bark up by the gate, so I might go and get another few barrow loads of that and just top up some of the paths, keep them nice, as it's still quite muddy and wet down here. Overall, it's all looking okay. A couple of little losses. I just had a little wander around and noticed the leeks over here. Something's had a bit of a field day munching on them. It's been chewed back, so we've lost. This is just the tops really. So I guess I might harvest them and take them home. And I think all the bottoms of them are okay. It's just the leaves that have eaten. It's probably quite recent, I think, because they're still all green and okay. But something's had a bit of a field day on my leeks over here. The ones over the other side look okay, mostly. I can see a couple that have been eaten. So something's been chewing away on them. I don't know if there's maybe a deer or something. It's quite a lot eaten for. Wouldn't be a rabbit. It'd be way too much foliage for that. Or not pheasant or anything. Yeah, that's a first down here. Had all those eaten back. The onions doing okay. Not much particular growth on them as such, but they're still looking happy enough in there. And the garlic, I can see a couple of little tiny garlic bulbs poking through. That was there was the elephant garlic. There was like 3 cloves across the back here. It's the pack I bought didn't have a lot in it. It was quite disappointing, but they're doing okay, I think. This bed of garlic has done really well. I think everything's come up in this one. Quite pleased with that one. This one's all fenced in, so hopefully this year they won't get touched at all. They seem to have survived without getting eaten at all. So hopefully we'll get a good load of garlic from there. The other bed of garlic, however, it's not so good. Probably half have come up and looking okay. They haven't been eaten or anything, but there's a few empty spaces. We should get. There's still sort of probably 10 or so, 10 or 12 in there. So still lots of garlic. Broad beans back here haven't really changed. I mean, they sort of take a long time to get going, don't they, in the cold. There's a few little beans coming up. I can see poking up here and there. This side is probably doing better. I did 2 beds, probably doing better than that bed. I can see some quite good ones in there actually, saying that. They're growing away. I might fill in some of the gaps. An old boy who used to have an allotment next to us years ago told me that he always planted his on Valentine's Day. So another couple of weeks I might just sow a few more beans in the gaps just to see what comes up. And you never know, the winter sowing versus the spring. These at the back here are empty, so he's had the main crop potatoes in, so they're empty at the moment. Back here, last time I was down here, I'm not sure I showed you, I put some of the wood chip on top of the flower bed. This did have quite a lot of weeds. I think there were some stinging nettles in there and things, so I pulled them up and put some bark chips on them. Although it looks like a rabbit's been digging in here, a few little dig holes, so just give that a bit of a spread out. But we have got some of our daffodils coming up at the back there. I'm guessing it might be a bit warmer at the back. Yeah, so there's a few daffodils starting to come up. This did have quite a lot of daffodils, and I think about 50 or something, all over it. But it is, the back here, it doesn't really get much light or warmth, so it's not great. They haven't grown as well as I'd hope, but I might get a few. And over here I can see a few. We had some mini ones in here, so it's just starting to come up as well, which is nice bit of colour. Everything else in here, these are still doing okay, these little things. There's some more bulbs just there I've just spotted. Yeah, the lavender's sort of died back quite a lot. That should perk up again soon. Yeah, just a few flowers at the back. There's not a good growing space, so just sort of put those there. Rest of this side, so they're empty. They had potatoes in. These had the chard in, which got sort of destroyed when we had that snow over Christmas. So I think they're pretty much done. There's a couple of little ones. This one's sort of making a fight back. So maybe a bit of warm weather, they might come back. Obviously I don't really need the beds at the moment, so I'll just leave them to do what they want. Yeah, and then looking over here, I hadn't noticed this as I walked past, but quite a few of these have been eaten as well. Got big chunky bite marks. That's a shame, but luckily, yeah, they haven't really touched the leek as such, just the tops. So yeah, I'll harvest all the ones that have been nibbled and perhaps freeze them or something, chop them up and freeze them. But yeah, it's a bit of a shame because they did really well. It was nice. Had some really nice leeks in there. The other side, obviously all this is empty at the moment. Starting to sort of think of plans now. It's starting to get towards sowing time. Still thinking about what to do with this side this year. I'm quite tempted to plant potatoes all along the back here. They sort of tend to grow in not so great soil, so I might put some more of that, the compost out of our compost bin, on here and just fill that up with potatoes. And likewise over here as well. I did save quite a lot of our potatoes from last year to use as seed, so we've got quite a few, and I was going to buy some as well just to make sure that we get something. And yeah, at some point I'm going to tidy up this corner. This I don't know what this is, some sort of fruit tree in the corner, but it isn't doing a lot, so I might see if I can move it into the orchard. Again, this is sort of at the back under some trees, so it's not a great sort of spot for a fruit tree, I wouldn't have thought. Yeah, so I might see if I can move that into the orchard and then just extend this big bed right round the corner, and yeah, just fill it with potatoes or pumpkins or something. Bit of a dead space really at the moment. Yeah, but we'll see what we come in. I want to grow quite a lot of beans and peas this year. Once we fenced in the beans, they did really well last year, end of last year. So I'd like to do that, and they're good for, you can freeze them and make stuff and freeze it, so we can store them really well. We tend to use stuff better when we can store it well, so it fits in with our other meals. So stuff like the potatoes, sadly we've run out of our potatoes from last year now, so we lasted from June-ish through to January, so we got 6 or 7 months out of it. The beds at the back here didn't do as well. This sort of 6 beds at the back didn't do anywhere near as well as the others. They got eaten by mice, and I think because I left them in so long, we had a hot bit and then a cold bit, and they all went mushy. So I think next year I need to get them out a bit earlier, by sort of September. And they stored okay in the house. They've got like a pantry that's cold and dark. So yeah, they stored really well there. Just looking as I'm talking to you, and then you won't be able to see it, but there's a black compost bin right in the middle over there, and it looks like there's some sort of bird of prey sitting on there. It's quite a big bird, So I'll keep an eye on him, see what he gets up to. Yep, so maybe over this side, either potatoes over some of these beds this year, or some beans and peas. Quite like the peas, A, for the pea shoots, for salads and things, but B, obviously the pods. So yeah, might use some of the beds for that. Strawberries, obviously just sort of in their winter mode. I'm going to sort them out at some point. I'll just sort of get rid of the extra plants I don't want and tidy it up a little bit. Today's sort of number one job is this raspberry bed. So there's quite a few rabbit holes in it at the moment. It looks like they've been having a bit of a field day digging tunnels in it. But each sort of February, these are sort of autumn raspberries. So I'll cut them back to sort of 1 inch or so tall, get rid of all this old wood. Seemed to work quite well last year, got quite a reasonable crop of it. Yep, so that's my job today, tidy this up, just chop all that back, and I might sort of try and work out if I can fill those holes back in. Yeah, and at some point I might see if I can put some more compost or some out of our bin maybe in it, and yeah, just tidy it up a little bit and get rid of, there's a few little weeds down the side here, so I'll sort them out. And yeah, that's the first job. And then if I've got some time and energy, I might get some more bark, spread it around the tree over here, and over here and over some of these paths. Just keep it topped up. Got all the raspberry canes cut back, so I can see what we're working with now on the ground. I'm going to go and put all the cuttings, I'll go and chuck them on the communal fire. A bit too woody, I think, to go on the compost. Yeah, we can see what the rabbits have been up to now. So we've got a couple of big holes where they've been digging away. I'm sure if that one, I'll have to have a look at that one closer. That's quite deep, that one. So I'll just get a spade out and put back some of this soil, spread it out, back out again. Just pull up some of there's a few little bits of weed around, not much. So yeah, so I'll have a little tidy up, put that on the fire and tidy up these little bits. I've cleared up all the sort of rabbit holes. Just got a rake and raked the soil back mostly flat. Sorted all those out, pulled up. There's a few sort of vine weedy things, so I've pulled them out and had a little weed, and I've just chucked a load of leaves that were on the paths down here, so I've just cleared up these a bit. Just put the leaves on, hopefully they'll break down and compost in place. No point wasting them, so yeah, just chuck them on there. So I think that bed's pretty much done. I might put some compost on it at some point when I clear out the compost bin. Yeah, we'll see how far it goes. But at least that's looking a bit tidier now, ready for a new season. Next up, I think I'm going to pull up some of these leeks, all the ones that have been nibbled. So I'll go around, there's a couple down here, those beds over there, and the one at the front. So yeah, I'll just get my bucket and just pull all them up, and then I can process them at home. I've cleared up all the leeks that had been nibbled, so I've got a big bucket full of leeks to take home and clean up, and as I said, we'll probably sort of chop them up and freeze them, I'd imagine. Use some this week, and yeah, see how many we can get through. I've left all the ones that haven't been touched. Hopefully they'll be left alone. There's just an awful lot of leeks there, so don't really want to take home even more. They still look pretty good, some of these, so hopefully they'll last another few weeks and we can deal with them another day. So now this bed's sort of half empty. I didn't touch that bed at all. The one over there is completely empty now. So yeah, that's a nice big pile of leeks to take home. Nice harvest. While I've got my secateurs and saw down here, I thought I'd give the apple tree a bit of a trim. We need to keep this sort of fairly low. The committee has sort of changed their minds on trees over the years, and quite a lot of people used to have fruit trees around, but they've sort of pushed them all into the orchard, which is a good idea, because it does create shade and things for other people. So we've got sort of a limit on height, so I've trimmed the height down a bit, and I've also trimmed the sides so that we don't brush past it as we get down the paths. Obviously it'll grow again quite a bit this year, but yeah, I just thought I'd give it a good trim back, and yeah, hopefully keep it healthy, and means we can keep it there for a while. It's nice tree. It's nice. Kids like climbing in it and picking the crab apples. So yeah, that's done. So I think the last thing I'm going to do is go and get a few barrow loads of wood chip of bark, and just fill up. I might put a few under the tree here just to renew this section and some of the paths a bit. Yeah, so I've got the wheelbarrow out and a spade. I've put a little bit of bark around the tree, just covered up some of the spots that are getting a bit low. It's not particularly good bark, it's very finely chopped, so I can see why it hasn't been taken by lots of people. Normally that sort of thing disappears fast on a allotment site. So yeah, perhaps it's not so good. Probably be pretty good for composting. So if I could find somewhere to put a compost bin, I could fill it up with that, and it would compost quite nicely in a couple of years probably. Yeah, maybe that's a thought for over the back there somewhere. Yeah, nice thought for another day. Always good to have more compost. Yeah, so I think that's probably it for today. Got a few nice jobs done, tidied up a little bit. Slowly starting to get ready for spring. Think about sorting seeds out and things, start to sow some stuff. I'm probably going to direct sow a lot this year. I might do a few at home just as a backup, but yeah, I was thinking of direct sowing all the peas and beans, and maybe even the squash and pumpkins and things as well. Yeah, we'll see how they get going. I'll probably back them up with a few at home just to make sure, but yeah, it's all good. Glad to see the onions and garlic still growing away. We've got our big pile of leeks to take home. Yeah, other than that, everything's looking pretty tidy and good. Always lots to do down here when it hits spring, so looking forward to it warming up and getting ready to start sowing. So I hope you're having a good time getting in your garden, starting to get back outside as it warms up, and keeping well. And I look forward to talking to you soon.